Hey everybody, Kelly Goodrich here, a very special Inside the Music edition for you today. And I'm here with my lifelong friend, I can honestly say, and my music mentor, my guru, my inspiration, Sam Hitchcock. And just in a nutshell, and I don't know whether you can put this in a nutshell, we met back in 1960 when my parents had bought a little 9-hole golf course in Uricksville, and Sam was part of the maintenance team that came with that golf course. So spring of 1960, I was 7 years old, he was going on 15, 15. And so we got to be fast friends, and Sam of course had a musical ear of sorts. And so he started at that time buying some musical items, and I was, of course, a party to the party, going in his room. I think I believe the Sears Silvertone guitar was.
Yeah, I got rid of that quick.
Oh my gosh! And I think it had the speaker in the case.
Everything all self-contained.
But Sam, on his musical journey, thankfully, kind of drugged me along. I wasn't reluctant at all, of course. But he taught me the very basics of drumming. He got into playing bass.
We had the books on the bed, didn't we have the books?
Yeah, and the brushes. Had the actually you had the bowling machine up in your bedroom, and I learned to play actually the very basic rudiments on that machine, taught to me by Sam. And well, I think your musical journey started, actually, you were in the marching band. I think you played just about every instrument.
Played baritone, trumpet. That's about it.
Yeah.
Drums.
Sometimes
I play baritone.
Because I remember you saying, tonight for the football game I got to play trumpet because the trumpet player's out.
Well, I remember the time, I wasn't much of a drummer at the time, and I definitely couldn't play much on the snare drum. I could hold a cadence, that was it. So the pep band marched down to the Little League field one time. They were going to dedicate the field, and Red Higginbotham, which was a military guy, scared everybody to death just looking at him. He had the chrome helmet and everything. He's out there in the middle of the field, and we marched down because the snare drummer didn't show up, so I'm playing the snare. We go up, march out to the middle of the field, and he turns to me and he says, play a drum roll. I've never played a drum roll in my life. So I kind of roughed through something. We got the national anthem played, but it was rough. It was rough.
Gosh. So anyhow, like I say, we spent a lot of time at Sam's house. He always had all the gadgets, and he's always first one I ever heard to say, I believe in buy now and pay later. And by golly, you made a lifelong mission out of that one.
You know, because they always tell you you can't take it with you, but they can't come after you to get it.
That's for sure. So anyhow, like I say, in the early years, just working on some basic music, but then fast forward to 1973, actually, Sam had a band called the Clarence Singleton Review, and they were playing at the Rose Room right down here in the square.
It was late 60s, because we started right about 60, or 70, 71, we were Reformation.
Right.
So it was late 60s.
Well, but when you recruited me to play drums at the Rose Room was 73. It was in the summer.
Okay. Oh, that's after I came back.
Yes,
okay, right.
But no, you'd had the band there for a while. I'm just kind of going on about when I had the pleasure of joining. Dale Bowles joined a band that was up in Alaska, I believe. And
well, you know how Clarence Singleton Review name came up?
No, I'd like to know.
Well, Lou. It's Lou's fault. Because Lou said, we played there, and we didn't have a name. We didn't need a name. We just, a bunch of musicians get there and play music. So Lou says, well, what's the name of the band? I said, well, we don't have a name. He says, well, you got to have a name. So I gave him some simple name, some easy name, and he said, well, I don't like that. I don't like that. So I said, okay, Clarence Singleton Review, to throw him a curve.
Oh my gosh. So you came up with that like that, of course. Now Lou Galanga and Lee, his wife, were the managers and owners of the Rose Room, the beautiful
Hotel Lee.
The Hotel Lee right down on the square in New Philadelphia. And oh boy, just to walk in that place was like walking back into the 30s or 40s. Everything was red, and Lee was there with her poodle, taking cover charge to get in, and oh, that's just a whole nother story. But so we played there Friday and Saturday nights, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think the pay for the band was $72 a night.
It was union scale.
Union scale was. Because Sam, of course, was one of the big wigs in the union. I belonged to the union for many years. My dad was in the union. And so it was, for me, it was $16 a night, for 4 hours.
10 to 2.
10 to 2. And at that time, I know that there was kind of a revolving door of musicians through the years, but it was Louis Novi on the guitar from Maslin, Jeff Shamel on the bass. Sam was playing the Hammond B3, which we'll get to here in a little bit.
Stop you just a little bit there for a story about Lou again at the Rose Room. We played 10 to 2, and we played year round. So whenever the clocks moved for daylight savings time, when they got to the point where they took, in the fall, put the clock back, we played 10 to 2, and then it became 1 o'clock, we had to play another hour. And I complained to Lou, I says, Lou, you gonna pay us a little extra of that? He says, no, he says, you'll get it back when the clocks change again. I could never figure out that, because in the spring it would go 10 to 2, and then it would be 3.
Yeah, it didn't matter, he still got that hour.
Anyway,
he got that hour. But so we, like I say, at the Rose Room, it was a, I'm gonna say it was a diverse crowd. We had the Four Winds motorcycle gang. We had, oh my gosh, some of the characters that would come in there, but it would always be packed in there. And at the time, we were doing a lot of Deep Purple. We did so many songs off of Machine Head. Maybe I'm a Leo. Space Truckin', of course, Smoke on the Water, everything like that. And but those were kind of easy living days. But we get to the end of '73, and Lou, I believe, let you know that after New Year's it was.
Well, I'll tell you what happened is Don Dogweiler, we were drawing a crowd at some point in time. Well, this was before that. Yeah, this was before that. I'm getting ahead of myself here. That's when Don Dogweiler came and was Kip, Johnny, and I. And that's when he took us to the Mustang.
Yeah, and of course they became the Reformation at the time, right?
Yeah.
House band at the Mustang, and back in that day, we're talking about the Mustang was one of the top nightclubs with live entertainment in tri-state area.
Name bands. I mean,
yes, great. Wild Cherry got their
Freddie Boom Boom Cannon.
Freddie Boom Boom. The Pilgrims from Wheeling, West Virginia.
Kyle Express. Lemon Pipers.
What was it, Shades of Time, which went on to actually merge with some members of the Reformation and became of course,
eventually La Flavor.
La Flavor. And so a lot of history there. Don Dogweiler, boy, hats off to him, and may he rest in peace. But anyhow, at the end of '73, when the curtain came down, so to speak, on the Clarence Singleton Review at the Rose Room, Sam was wondering, well, what kind of direction can we go in here? And we want to start another 4-piece band. And so he said, why don't we just put a duo together, just the two?
No, that was your idea.
No, you're not. No.
Because you can't.
Sam, you always had the ideas.
You told me, you said, hey, we're practicing 2-piece, because we're looking for 2 other guys. And he comes to me, he says, hey, I got a job for us down in Alpha Lanes. I said, what, sweeping the floors? He says, no, playing music.
I can see clearly now the rain has gone. I can see all the obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be bright, sunshiny day. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is that rainbow I
practiced a couple times. I said, yeah, we
People
can tell
kept
the
sending
show.
drinks up to them.
Yeah.
Couldn't drink them all.
Yeah. So anyhow, in May of 1974, we actually hatched the Impromp-Two, and it was at Alpa Lanes. We were playing every Friday and Saturday night.
With 30 songs for 3 hours.
Right. And so, and then, and every night, and I kept track of this, at about, we were playing like 9 to midnight, and they say, oh, come on, one more hour, and they'd pass the hat, and we play. So there was not one night we ever did 3 hours. It was, except maybe the very first night. After that, it was a 4-hour gig because they always passed that, because Albert Pica and Paul Racone, they weren't going to pay us that extra $10. We had to collect that. So we started playing 2 nights a week, and it was revolutionary. It was we were a full
we were
band.
the only 2-piece band that was putting out music. Everybody else was 4
Right.
or 5 pieces.
And so we quickly went from playing just 2 nights a week, and at the end of the summer, and we started picking up some gigs here and there. At the end of the summer, Alpa Lanes.
Ricardo's. We played.
Oh.
Fran came down. Fran Kinzer came down and drug us up to.
Well, like I say, we went to Wednesday and Friday at Alpa Lanes, which opened up our Saturdays, and that's when we started. That's when Francis Kinzer got us over at BJ's. We played out the Caddis Pike Inn. All these places don't exist anymore, but
Because we were cheap, you know, we could play a lot cheaper than the 4-piece bands.
So our week got to the point where, and then down to Ricardo's, which became the Homestead in Uricksville, they said, well, we'd like to have you a couple nights a week. I said, hey, all we've got is Monday and Wednesday. And they said, well, we'll take those. So, and now Sam's working a full-time job out at Atwood Golf Course as maintenance supervisor or golf pro. I don't know what you were out there. Head chef, I don't know. But, and so, so Sam working a full-time job, not me so much. I'm going to be the roadie. So
He just hung out at the
Monday.
L&K doing this thing with his jello. I don't know what something with jello.
Don't get started on that.
Want some whiskey in your water, sugar in your tea? What's all these crazy questions you're asking me? This is the craziest party there could ever be. Don't turn on the lights, 'cause I don't wanna see. Mama told me not to. Mama told me not to. She said, that ain't the way to have fun, son. Open up the window, let some air into this room. I guess you already choke up on the smell of stale perfume. And that cigarette you smoking plum scared me half to death. You got the window stuck up and let me catch my breath. Mama told me not to come. Mama told me not to come. She said, that ain't the way to have fun, son.
So Monday, Homestead, or no, actually that was Tuesday and Thursday we did Homestead. So Tuesday, Ricardo's, Wednesday, Alpa Lanes, Thursday, Ricardo's, Friday night, Alpa Lanes, Saturday night, one of the many bistros around the county, and then Sunday night at the Caddis Pike Inn.
I'm working a job.
He's working a job.
Get up
He's
and
working a
work.
job. I don't know how he did it. So we were working 6 nights a week in a different location every night. And I'm going to, okay, so right now I want to get to the equipment that we were using, because luckily Sam has held on to a lot of those artifacts. the drum kit, and this was my actually it was my original drum kit. My mom took me up to Gattuso's Music in Kansas. Are they still open? Gattuso's.
I don't know. When they wouldn't show me these.
When I was just begging, and this was back in junior high when I came up with this kit. Now this kit has been refurbished by none other than Jimmy Hitchcock, who's running the camera right there, and he did a marvelous job. And in fact, when he, I guess this is what they actually looked like back when I painted them up, and we started out as the Impromp-Two. I was into the patriotic thing, only I never did get the stars on there. I don't know whatever happened to that. But I took the shells, stripped off all the coating and everything, and just painted them up. And it used to be a double bass drum kit. There's another one of these floating around the world somewhere. It's probably down in the basement right here at Sam's. But I had the 2 kick drums, and it was a Rogers kit originally. And like I say, Jimmy has refurbished this and put the coatings back on it. And he, in fact, got a hold of me when he started doing this. He said, "What color was it?" I said, "It was like a mother of pearl, but it was a dark." So the name, what is the name of that?
That is called Black Diamond Pearl.
Black Diamond Pearl. There you have it from the master right there.
And that's the
himself.
original drum head that was on that when you gave it to
Yeah.
me.
Did you put this?
And remember, I used to put tape on it to deaden it. Oh my gosh, yeah. But yep, all original equipment here. But like I say, the original kit was like I say, that floor tom tom, this tom tom, that tom tom, and this. This is one that Jimmy added to the collection. And we would put all of our stuff in the van, set up as it was, the stands. We just walk in, put it down, okay, and we're off. So
15 minutes.
15 minutes.
We're ready to go.
Yeah, not like these 4 and 5 hour setups today. No, ours was 15 minutes. But, So we got a lot of mileage out of that kit, man. We did. So we're going to move over to another side of the room here, and we're going to take a look at actually the inspiration for me to actually do what myself and Sam did and what we accomplished came from an instrument that looks just like this. And this isn't Sam's original B3. He traded it for a used car or something. I don't know. But so these babies are 400 pounds. Now keep in mind,
450 pounds.
452 point. So and add to that the dolly that goes with it with the wheels. Okay, so we're doing 6 nights a week, and we're hauling this. And here's the Leslie cabinet. Now, what number is this one?
147.
147.
I think ours are 142.
142 is the shorter one, right?
Yeah.
The 47 is
And
really
it's
tall.
sat on 2 Marshall cabinets, and then we took a tap
An
out
RCA out.
into the Marshall top
Right.
and boosted it to give this lower keyboard
And-
bass.
and it kicked butt. It really did. Like I say, you had these 2 Marshall cabinets, and
Which got it up off the ground.
right. Like I say, and we did several jobs at up on the 3rd floor of the Uricksville Elks Club, and Sam, in his infinite wisdom, managed to. He made a sled for this thing because we carried it up there a couple times with 4 or 5 guys. So he finally made a sled out of 2x4s and got tow rope from out of that wood. I don't know who donated that. Yeah.
Well, it was one of those that had already worn down.
Right.
We had to replace it, so I took
So we get 4 guys up at the top and 1 guy steering at the back, which was usually me, you know. And
the guy with the short straw had to go up without the bottom.
and we would pull that thing up. Oh my gosh. But I'm telling you what, there's nothing like I'm telling you what, and we always talked about this, had we, put a duo together and just used a keyboard with a organ sound, it just wouldn't have been, that's the inspiration.
I don't think there was anybody else around with a B3 at that time.
Heck, who would do that, right? I think even Grant Casper, he had a M.
He had something similar. It was something like
Not
that.
nobody
One
was.
B3, one the B3.
Yeah, the Vanilla Fudge. They weren't. Their road crew was hauling this, but
Which we saw.
But I'm going to ask Sam to give a little demonstration right now. We had it to, of course, we would put it up on blocks, and we had a high stool that we would actually sit at, because we had.
We stood a lot of times too.
Yeah.
We stood, and actually the blocks that Kelly put together,
You still have
glued
those?
together. But they were about the size of railroad ties.
They
So
were.
you get
Well,
them up like this, so we could stand up and play, because we wanted to stand up while we played. And it was amazing because we had various pedals on the floor. We had the pedal, the switch for the Leslie. We put a foot pedal, so that we could do that while we're playing.
Right.
We also had the volume pedal,
Which is on here.
and we might have had some pedals and some other stuff. We had a piano up here, and then we had a string machine over here, and just
We added
all kind of things. And invariably, somebody, while we're playing, we're singing, playing 2 keyboards, working pedals, and somebody would invariably come up and want to ask us a question. And something else, a habit that we probably shouldn't have done. We got this here because we always had a drink.
Yeah.
We'd have the drink usually sitting right there.
And this is the worst feature of the organ here, because there was perfect room for a nice glass right there.
So when
Bad
somebody-
idea.
A lot of noise coming on, we're making noise, so somebody wants to ask us a question, they want to get closest so they can whisper it. And they'll come up there like this and go like that.
Yeah.
And dump which is one of the reasons why I got rid of that organ. You had to have a ton of drinks and stuff down in the keyboard.
Well, now another feature of that was because Sam always drank Coca-Cola or Pepsi. No, you usually have Pepsi or Coke. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what was detrimental to the bottom down in here, because when that Coca-Cola went down in there, and once in a while you get these keys that would stick, when you're playing. But me, no, it wasn't my problem, because I drank vodka and something that wasn't sticky. So mine would go down and it would go straight through. Sam's would go down and coat everything. So that's why I told Sam, you got to get off that Coke, man. You got to get away from that Coca-Cola. And so that was one of the features there. If we can get in here and take a look at, here's another one of the little keyboards that we had. This isn't the exact one. We had a black one. It's a Wurlitzer electric piano. And Sam made a bracket that we could put that up on top of the B3.
The original bracket had, I put screws through it so they would go into the holes where those legs and keep them sliding.
We never had a problem with that falling off. So, but anyhow, the Wurlitzer has. used to, we got a lot of use out of that. And then again, we ran it through the Leslie.
Yeah.
So it had a great sound to it, but the natural tremolo that these have.
One of the downfalls, though, of the Wurlitzer piano is that it has the tone comes out of their reeds, their little metal reeds.
They call them tines.
Yeah.
There's little.
And they had solder on the end of them, and that's how you tuned each individual note. If you had to bring it down a little bit, you have to file it down, and if you file it too much, it was too far. Then you had to drop solder on it again, start all over. So that was kind of a pain in the neck.
Yeah. And of course, like I say, playing it every night, and we'd hammer it out pretty good. And every once in a while, one of these would invariably go out of tune. And I remember we had to actually go down to Columbus, Ohio, to buy the new tines, where you get those, and then you have to. They came like one tine would cover this area here, the next one would cover. So you had to file it down to where it was in pitch. It was like. We also at one time had oh my God, this was the biggest boat anchor ever. It was a Fender Rhodes, which I, in my infinite wisdom, bought. And not only, this is a 73 note model, which is manageable. Gattuso's, again in Canton, had an 88, a full size 88 key Fender Rhodes, and it had to be 200.
He just had to have.
You know, I thought, look at all those extra keys, you know. And I'm only paying for 73, and I'm only playing 25, so. But again, now the way this worked was it had like little spindles on it with like a little like a spring on the end of it, and you would move those to actually tune it. But actually, we didn't have that keyboard long enough for it to go out of tune.
No, unfortunately, we left that in the truck.
I think when we started having back surgeries, you know, it was like no. But anyhow, that's just some of the fun items. And like I say, thankfully for Sam, he continues to, you know, I'm going to do another edition of this, Kelly's Inside the Music, and we're going to go down to the basement, okay? And we're going to look at the real archives of musical equipment down
Including
there.
the PA system that we had, the Shure.
The Shure, the column. So anyhow, we're going to step out here and we're going to wrap this up. But I just want to say that you can use also that, like I say, having started the Impromp-Two in '74, which is what, only 47 years ago.
Just a few years ago.
But we've both continued to stay very active in music. Luckily, we've continued to keep our friendship together. And every time that I get up from Florida up into the New Philadelphia area, I like to come over to Sam's house of belongings here, and he's got all kinds of newer equipment that I won't even go into. That it just, to me, is inspirational to come in and play some of these instruments, and it seems like every one of those instruments has its own signature sound, and you can go back, oh, this song was that, and this song was that chord, the little baby.
You don't have to worry about tuning.
No tuning, no. But I'll tell you what, the fat sound of that B3, the Hammond B3 organ, and I remember we used to have to buy the big old tubes every once in a while. They were about $40.
For the oil?
No, and in the Leslie.
Oh,
That one tube.
Oh yeah,
would be
it's
bad.
6L6GC, 6L6GC.
There you have it. Who can live without the 6GC? But anyhow, like I said, and we continue on our musical journey, and we hope that never ends.
I thought you were talking about the tone generator, or sometimes we forget to anchor that.
Oh, yeah, that didn't sound good. I mean, when it was anchored and you tried to start it up, it would sound like a Volkswagen. But yeah, quite an instrument. And like I say, my musical journey, which I've been very fortunate to share with so many people, really started back in the days with Sam. I can't emphasize that enough. So.
It's been a good friendship. It's been a good musical friendship, and I enjoy. I mean, he's living the dream right now on a cruise ship. A little bit of a break right now with COVID, but you're going to be going back out again.
Yeah, hopefully sometime this year. I've done it for 10 years. It kind of gets in your blood, and hope to get back out there and do that. Meantime, I'm doing some local gigs down in Florida. Come up here once in a while and do one. So you never know when you might see the two of us back out there at one of these honky tonks, making a lot of noise and having a lot of fun. So anyhow, Sam, I thank you for the memories, and let's continue to nurture that, keep that going. Long may it live. And for now, that's Kelly's Inside the Music with my good friend and collaborator Sam Hitchcock.
Change.